Hey guys, Pete here, HVAC Greatness. So if you're not registered for next week's live training on how to properly price your HVAC services, you're going to want to be a part of this. This is the best program out there, and it's certainly the most affordable. We're giving a $500 discount on this. Let me talk to you a little bit about this, and let me teach you for free a little insight that's included in what we're going to go over and help you do precisely for your company's numbers. And even if you're just an owner-operator, we're able to tweak this and customize this around you to levels that you just can't get with other programs. So here's what we're going to look at. First of all, we're going to talk about the program and how to actually do the calculator. But let's talk about an insight here as to what capacity is. So let's talk about your hourly rate. Let's say you have an employee that makes $40 an hour. Well, there's 52 weeks in the year times 40 hours. That's 2,080 hours that employee wants to get paid. So when you're figuring your price, $40 an hour is not going to cover it, and here's why. Heck, we're paying 40 hours or 5 days a week on vacation. So that brings us down to 2,040 hours, minus another 40 hours for paid holidays. So we continue to take this number down until we have the available working hours. In this case, 2,000 hours. Now, what is your capacity? So your capacity at 100% would be 2,000 hours, but are you really billable on that employee 100% of the time? Or do they have travel costs and other expenses, sitting at the parts house, sweeping the shop, inefficiencies in general? So if you were a whopping 80% efficient, we're talking 1,600 hours a year divided by 8-hour days. That would be 200 work days. So if you do a change out, for example, in a single day, that would be 200 change outs. So since there's 250 work days in the week, that would be 4 change outs a week. Are you doing that level of work, or even less on service costs? So what we do is we bring in the real numbers. There's something called labor burden, and that 25% in this example represents that those 40 hours we paid them for vacation, those 40 hours we paid them for holidays, their workman's compensation, the taxes that you have to match, right? The FUTA and SUTA and Social Security, all these different things need to be built into that. We've got that built into the calculator for you, and it's done for you. So really, your employee's getting paid 40 an hour, but it's costing you $53.34 an hour at 100% efficiency, right? But we're not billable 2,000 hours. We're billable only 1,600 hours. So really, our billing rate needs to be $69.34 in order to pay that employee $40 an hour. And that's a really, really efficient situation. So before we even get into the price calculator, which is what this is, let's go over and look at a 2-man crew. So if we had a lead installer for $50 and a helper for $30, we're looking at $80 a crew hour. $80 a crew hour. But remember, you don't use that to calculate your price. You can't do that because you've got a percentage on workers' compensation, the matching taxes, the vacation, the holidays, the sick days, 401k, whatever that is. In this particular example, for us to pay them $80 an hour, we've got to charge $106.80, right? Or basically $427.20 per man day. So when we come over and we're actually doing our calculation, notice our labor is $490.88 per man, and we have 2 men on there. So we have $981.76 figured in there. I'll bet you did it the old way. I bet you took that $80 an hour and you did it times 8 hours, and you were only figuring $640. Guess what? It's $981. That's money that you would have lost. Look, guys, we've got everything in here. I've got your sales commission rate. I've got your financing. We've got your credit card. We've got your sales tax. We've got a contingency. We've got internal warranty. We've got your actual overhead burden. We've got travel costs, fuel costs. Everything is built in here. so that when you get your final price, it is right. And you know exactly what your break even is. Now, when we get into these tough economical times, this is really going to be important because you're going to have to hit your budgets. You're going to have to hit those 4 installs per week. If that's what you're set at, maybe you're only 1 or 2, but you're going to have to get those 1 or 2, and you'd rather take that job at less profit and cover all your overhead and expenses and payroll than you would miss that job completely. So now this gets into our what if scenario. So all of these are what if scenarios. So if we did this job instead of the $10,000 or $11,000 we're usually shooting for, we had to do it for $8,000. Can we afford to take this job? Well, based on these numbers, absolutely. We got a 30% net profit. Now, are these numbers realistic with your numbers? Probably not. In fact, we're going to have to customize these around your company and your situation. I don't care if you have full-time crews or if you're doing this yourself. Part-time you're installing, part-time you're running service. I got you on this. And then we're also going to do the same thing over here on the service call. We take a $100 part, we come into the flat rate, and we know exactly, based on the time, if we have 1 hour on our truck expense and 1 hour on our labor expense, we know exactly what our break even is to do that repair. It's $270. Now, if the market's going $700, that's a tremendous profit for a little company like this. Okay. Now, but so where should we be? What's more competitive? Maybe we're not 700. Maybe we're more like 450, and we're still making 40% net. That's a really good situation. So that's just an example of what we can get into. But this is a program that everybody should be a part of. You will own this software right here, this spreadsheet. This will be yours. It's not rented to you. You don't pay every month. It's yours to keep forever. Now, what I'm going to do is, in addition to that, I'm going to throw in a flat rate book. Let's see if I can find it here. And we're gonna actually have a book ready for you here that you can create your own flat rate book. So this is a menu price. This is the whole layout, and this will be something really nice that you can print for yourself and create so that you have all these different scenarios for your company. You just come in and modify and do away with the existing logo. Let's say here, this is AVC Mechanical, our buddies up in Jersey. We take his logo and say goodbye. We drop yours in there, change these colors to match your color, and then we have the different repairs. Is it a basic leak search? Is it electronic research, leak search? What is the repair cost? It includes the evacuation, the silver solder, the new filter dryer, the vacuum, the nitrogen, all the stuff that it takes. We can customize that, and you use this formula right here in order to figure out what yours would be. So we're going to include that in as a bonus. We're starting on Monday, May 20th at 3 p.m. Come join us. Take care of this. It'll pay for itself on the very first job, guaranteed. Or on repairs, maybe the second or third job. But still, it'll pay for itself. And you're going to be able to get aggressive out there and get that work. And it makes you look a lot more professional when you know exactly what your costs are. Pete Ramsey, your HVAC greatness. That's the tip of the iceberg. Come see the rest of it. See you there. Bye-bye.